Hello and welcome to Pod and Long, a Monday night edition. I'm your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Megastar Mark.
Ryan, how are you? It feels weird to be doing this on a Monday, but hey, it's Thanksgiving. We got to adapt.
You gotta adjust in the NFL. You gotta next man up.
Right. There are things we have to do. We have to go travel, to go to Thanksgiving. I got a lot of opinions that I want everybody at the Thanksgiving table to know about that I got to write down. All right. I got lots of really, crazy conspiratorial Cole Beasley-esque comments. There's Cole talking to you right now. He's calling.
That's right. He was he had something to add.
Yep.
I got a full legal pad of political opinions. I got a full legal pad going here.
Oh yeah, mine is They're very how can I put this? Traitorous, I guess.
Oh God. That one got me.
Yeah.
No, we can't. That's the other show. We can't do that. Oh yeah. Drew is again out this week. We should have him back next week, hopefully, and he can maybe clear up this Michigan thing.
Yeah.
Which is funny because he did send us a message. Said you guys really messed up the Michigan conversation.
Yeah. Which we need him.
That's why we need you, Drew.
He's the expert. We're just schlubs who are here to talk about the NFL. I mean, the only thing I will say, because there is going to obviously be no stripe spiral at the end of this.
Sure.
I just want to get this out in the open. I think the Liberty Flames going all the way this year.
Yes.
They're undefeated still.
Still undefeated.
Yep. And Syracuse fired their head coach. You see that?
Yeah, Dino's out.
Yeah, Dino's out.
I was like, oh, that must have been 5 years. No, it was 8 years.
Oh my
8
God.
years.
Wow.
Syracuse
is
really? I don't even know how to describe it. It's for me. It's like I like them, but I know they just will cause pain, so it doesn't hurt me. Like when they lose, and it doesn't bother me.
I saw the guys they were interested in. I don't know any of them, and I just build Syracuse. Like, let's get a big name in there. How about our boy Ron Rivera?
Oh, we're gonna get into Ron in a little bit
on his college football exodus, which is slowly beckoning to him, like
definitely
Jack with a bony finger, just motioning.
You don't have to do as much stuff, Ron.
Right.
We are doing this on a Monday night, so the Monday Night Football is going on right now. Currently, the Eagles have it within the 5-yard line. Devontae Smith just did a reverse.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Devontae Smith. Might have been Swift. I'm not sure. I'm not a play-by-play man, but the Eagles are in the red zone. Mm-hmm. Chiefs are up 7-0. So
this will be hopefully, obviously, you're listening. Everybody who's listening to this is listening into the future, so they'll know how right or wrong I am. But I really hope this is a back and forth game. Monday Night Football needs that.
This is the best game Monday Night Football has had. Eagles score. DeAndre Smith. DeAndre Swift. God, those names are similar.
Yeah.
Swift in touchdown Eagles. So we're going to tie it up right there. You get your wish.
My wife will be happy. He's on the fantasy team.
So. Oh, Swift. Nice.
Yes.
It's nice. Yeah, I think we're going to get a good game on Monday Night Football for once. So. It's really been a while. It's been a while. The last one I can... Obviously, there's got to have been one, but the last one I'm thinking of is Rams Chiefs, where it was like 55-53 or something like that. That was the last like really fun.
There's been like memorable games because of things that have happened, but like in terms of good games, it's few and far between.
Oh, Doinker. Eagles doinked one in. It's tied though.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Doink. Listen to the UJF podcast. You'll get plenty of Vince McMahon. Mm-hmm. It is Monday night. Monday Night Raw is on. But you never know.
That's true. Maybe Doink will show up.
What's going on in there? You never know what's going on there.
Vince can't show up because he'll get arrested.
Yeah, he might get in trouble for that. All right, we're gonna do our categories. We're gonna keep an eyeball on this Chiefs Eagles game, but we'll do our categories. We'll do our sad boy boat. We'll do our foo bar, broadcasting moments. We've got it all except for Stripe Spiral. Don't have that. Sorry. But let's begin with the category. No Dorsey, no cry. The Bills. All their problems are fixed. Everything's fine.
Yeah, right. No problems. Yeah, everything's good now.
No problems. They beat the Jets 32-9. The Jets are really not going to go anywhere with Zach Wilson. They even benched him finally.
About time.
We'll get into that. But,
yeah.
Your Bills, they look right. They look good.
Yeah.
In every the game.
They got a murderer's row of games coming up, but this was the first Bills game I can think of all year, even dating back to last year, that there was a competent. I'm not even throw competent out the window. There was a clear plan offensively, which is run the ball, which is the Bills' strength that they never. I've talked about it ad nauseum on this show. They are built to run the ball, and they just don't. Well, here's another. I found this out too during the broadcast. James Cook is 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards, and they don't run. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's imagine what his stats would be if they actually did commit to the run throughout the entire season. He is. They committed to it 35 times rushing, which I can't even remember the last time Bills attempted 35 rushes in a single game. Controlled the game, controlled the clock, opened the ball up, opened the field in the middle. Josh Allen made some great strikes over the middle with Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, Stephon Diggs. That's the way you're going to win games. And that's the way they need to win games moving forward. There is still a lot to work on. Their defense, once again, half of them got carted out in an ambulance. They just keep getting hurt. So we'll see how that is moving forward. But at least there was a clear plan on offense. And I don't know. Obviously, Brady comes with some baggage. He has failed the last place he was at. So I'm not saying everything's fixed. I'm just saying at least I saw a plan, and we'll see how it goes moving forward.
Okay. I was impressed by the way that they threw to the backs as well. Like, they didn't just run it. Like, they scored on the one throw to, was it Ty Chandler?
Yeah. Ty Johnson, I think. Yeah.
Ty Johnson. They threw a little screen pass to him, and he did all the work. It's like, and even Romo commented, like, Josh Allen needs to do that a lot more. Just like throw these screens and let other people do, no more hero ball, basically. He didn't say those words, but that's kind of what he meant. Like, you don't need to throw an 80-yard touchdown pass every play. No. You can chuck it down to Cook, and he can score from the backfield. Like, he's that good of a player. And that's what happened. So and the defense, I thought, played pretty well. I mean, it was Zach Wilson, but Rasul Douglas was in there doing stuff finally.
How the hell did they give up a sack of footballs for this guy? Like, what are the Packers thinking on that one? That was real. Because the last 2 games, he's really showed up. That first one, obviously, he's just probably getting acclimatized. But the last 2, he's been excellent. So,
and the other thing is, the Packers aren't officially out of it yet.
Yeah,
they won this week. Weird. So what are they doing? They trade their best defensive player, but well, the Jets on the Jets side of things.
On the plus side, they got rid of Zach Wilson today.
They finally decided Zach is done.
And if you're a Jets fan, like, it's about fucking time. Like, this guy is not the answer. He's been stuck with for way too long. I don't think Boyle's the answer either. Maybe Trevor Siemian can, like, win you a couple of games, like, down the stretch. I have more faith in him than I do in Boyle. But this team needs obviously, you should probably think about drafting somebody now, because Aaron Rodgers, even if he comes back, is only good for one more year.
If that, yeah. I mean, he keeps teasing that he's going to come back, which we don't think is real.
Because Poochie needs the attention.
He's just doing it so that people will talk about him.
100%.
Why else would he be at these games? Why else would he be at these games?
Just, where's Poochie? What's
Talk
Poochie
to
doing
Poochie.
Right now?
Talk about Poochie. But yeah, Saleh finally had to admit, like, defeat on Zach Wilson. Like, it's done. It's over. We all know that he's dead. Even my 7-year-old son said, "Yeah, Zach Wilson. Why haven't they changed him?" Like, good point.
Watching that game, he put so much body motion into every throw. Every throw looks like it's exhausting for him to do, and it goes nowhere. And I don't know if that mechanic can be fixed. I mean, he's been in the league now 3 years. Like, that type of wasted effort and wasted motion should have been resolved in college. But he's just Maybe he needs to go somewhere. Maybe he needs to go somewhere else and just be a backup for a couple of years and then have another shot at it. Like maybe that's what he needs, a reset. He just needs to the Jets need to be away from him and he needs to be away from the Jets.
Sounds really similar to the Sam Darnold situation.
Yeah, right.
It didn't work out for Sam.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, we don't
know. You never know. He might still show up. Yeah. Do you think this Bills team can actually head into this tough part of the schedule and actually make some noise here and they're on the right track, or do you think this is just the Jets?
I can't tell. I need more like sample size. I really can't tell on this one. I think Josh played with more confidence, but that confidence can be shattered real easy. He is a very hot and cold player. So I liked the Bills are going into their toughest game of the year, this upcoming game against the Eagles, who are playing right now.
Right.
By far the biggest challenge they've faced this year. And it's going to be up to Brady to try to figure out that team. And not a lot of teams have. So it'll be interesting moving forward.
It'll be interesting. I think they could, if they continue to do that, moving Allen out of the pocket, throw it to the backfield.
Yeah,
I think that's the answer. It might not work because the Eagles are so good, but I think that's the only plan you can have.
Yeah, probably.
It's going to be tough to run against the Eagles. We'll see if that. We'll see.
They're like number one in the league. They're in for a reason. So
that's going to
be tough. So we'll see.
We will see. All right, category. What? The Packers woke up out of a coma and decided to beat the Chargers.
You know what?
Of course they did.
Let's beat this team today.
You know what?
Yeah,
Jordan Love is good.
Yeah. Oy.
Oh, boy. The Chargers got a Charger. Really, that's the number one thing. The Chargers got a Charger.
Their head coach is getting so confrontational now, and I don't know if Staley thinks it's a tough guy act and it makes him look good. It just makes him look whiny. Every post game, he just sounds like he's crying about everything. This guy, I don't know how many times we can say it. It needs to have been gone yesterday for this Chargers team to move forward, because this Chargers team has a shit ton of talent. On both sides of the ball. They're with a coach who doesn't know what to do. For the betterment of this entire squad, they got to move on. They will move on. They will. I thought it was going to happen by now. It's not. But by the end of the year, he's gone. He's
got to be. He got mad in the post game. He got mad when a reporter asked him if he was going to give up defensive play calls, and he said basically like, "Don't ask me that again. I'm never giving up defensive play calls. Don't ask me that again."
Yeah, really aggressive, dude.
Okay, but you're the head coach. You probably shouldn't be calling the defense. Like, anybody else can do that. Same thing with McDermott. We talked about it last week with McDermott. Yep. Like, you can give up the defensive play calls. Like, you can.
There has to be somebody in the Chargers who has done this before.
Jeez Louise.
That you can just,
like, how many calls are you going to make on defense? Right. That's why I played defense in high school. It was easier. It's a lot easier. You blitz, you don't blitz. You know, you're in a 3-4 or 4-3. What coverage are you in? Like, how much time needs to be devoted into that during the game? I'm not really sure, but so he got really mad at that question, which is basically like, you're a failure on defense. Which again, the defense failed. Yeah. And last week he gave up 40-something points to the Lions. Like, the defense isn't good.
No,
but your answer to that question should be like, yeah, we haven't been good enough or something like that. Like, stop getting mad at the media for asking if you're going to give up.
Yeah, for doing their job, because you sure as fuck aren't doing your job. And let's give the Packers some credit here, because like that team showed up to play and they played tough.
Did. Yeah.
That receiver that they had, that rookie. I feel bad for not knowing his name off the top of my head.
Is it Reed? Jalen Reed?
Is it? I don't know. But anyway, they're just they're primed to have a good squad. This is just a lot of growing pains. Like, when I look at these two teams, I think a team like the Packers, who are just kind of learning to be good and learning how to win again under a different regime, and that's fine. That's okay. The Chargers, there is no excuse.
No.
This team should be perennially in the AFC Championship game, if not in the Super Bowl.
At least in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're not even there.
Yep. Just
not even in the. Yeah. Let's see. Who are we talking about? I think it was Jalen Reed.
That could be it.
Jaden Reed. I'm sorry.
Jaden Reed. Yeah.
Jaden Reed.
Yeah. Right.
Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
They still have Watson, who didn't do much in this game, and Romeo Dubs, whatever you want to call him, whatever his actual name. We'll find out next year, maybe. But yeah, they have stuff, and they still have Aaron Jones, and AJ Dillon's okay. You know, they still got Musgrave, the tight end, doesn't seem to be too bad. Like, they have some pieces, but I mean, the Chargers should win this game. What the hell?
Oh my God.
Like, Herbert's supposed to be this great quarterback. Like, and I Eckler fumbled. Keenan Allen dropped a sure touchdown, and was it Quentin Johnson, the rookie, who was an absolute abomination.
Oh yeah,
of a pick. Dropped a wide open deep shot to win the game. Basically, just dropped. I don't know. It was in his hands, and he dropped it.
I don't know if you're going to have this on broadcasting moments, but did you see the interview with him after the game?
With Quentin Johnson?
Yeah, no. Inadvertently, real funny. He's in front of his locker, and they were. Hold on one second here. I just got to clarify one thing just to make sure.
Okay.
All right. Yes. Okay. So the Chargers, of course, were the away team, right? And so they're in their locker room, and obviously it's a temporary locker room, right? It's every team that goes in there is the away team, and he's talking about how he dropped that pass, and he's just like, "I just have to be better. Somehow, I just have to be better." And then you see the equipment guy behind just take his name off the locker.
No,
and it's like obviously he was just going down the line, and just happened to be Quentin's term. But that was a rough visual.
You're getting cut. Oh wait, sorry, we're just going home. You're not getting cut yet.
He's a rookie, I think. Quentin.
Yeah,
I think
he
Quentin
is.
John, yeah, so I mean,
he was a TCU player.
Yes, yeah. There's plenty of time for him to turn it around, and especially in that offense, plenty of time.
I mean, they passed on several other. I can't remember where in the hierarchy they picked this guy, but there were several other number one picks that were receivers that worked out.
Yeah, it was a weird pick. You know? He's not coming out of college. He wasn't bad. He just had a lot of like defects is the wrong word. He looked like he needed more time to grow than some of the other receivers who could have been contributing earlier. So I don't know.
His attributes were he's big.
Yeah,
he's big and strong.
Right.
Not that he's skilled as like a route runner or anything like that. But
give me a
man, you should be able to catch a wide open pass.
I know. That was bad.
Come on. Okay. Yeah. Let's what else can we say about the Chargers? That coach has got to be fired. Like, it's a Dean Spanos doesn't want to pay a fired coach situation to me. But
I don't know. Like, this is the most, if this became available, this is the most sought after head coaching job in the NFL. You know, because you already have a franchise quarterback.
Coming in with that guy,
6 or 7 teams that can say that. So that's the hardest thing. And if you can walk into a situation like that, piece of cake.
They supposedly Sean Payton was interested.
Yeah.
Which we make fun of Sean Payton, but like they had fired Staley last year. They could have potentially had Sean Payton in that spot.
Sure.
There's gonna be some coaches available. I don't know who they would go with, but maybe an offensive coach. Maybe that Lions offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. I feel like he's going to get a job. Ben Johnson's going to get a job somewhere. That would be a great fit. Really correct this offense. I don't know. We'll see. Sorry to all Chargers fans out there.
Yeah.
All 3 of you.
Oh, don't be like that.
Oh, I had to. All right. Next category is real interesting. First time, maybe ever, and probably last time. It is the Mark Bowl. Mark's Rams are back, baby, and they beat the Seahawks.
Yes.
Yeah, you forgot you were in on the Rams, but the Rams,
that's right.
They're back, baby. They beat the Seahawks. Pete Carroll in tears. Matthew Stafford on top.
It
was your Super Bowl.
It was a rough game, though. Holy shit.
It wasn't great. It wasn't a great game.
This game had some problems, both on offense and defense. Stafford still looked shot. He was able to bounce back a little bit this game than he was the previous week. But this, I think the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl, obviously, because that's obvious.
They're back in the playoffs, baby.
Yeah. The Seahawks are a hot mess, because Pete Carroll's coaching
Yep.
them. No, so like, good for the Rams. This team, I think, once again, is talented. I think McVay is the right coach. I am constantly concerned that McVay is just going to ditch and just be like, you know what?
He's going to.
Yeah.
It feels that way. Like,
TV
I'm done.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like, there is something to be said about a head coach who's like a handsome, charismatic guy. Most head coaches are ugly chodes. They're just,
they're weird. Coaches are
weird humans. He is not. He's very charismatic. So he could be like a lead guy on, like, get rid of Jimmy Johnson or the crypt keeper that is Terry Bradshaw.
The corpse of Terry.
Yeah, and throw Sean McVay on there.
It's not a bad pickup.
Right.
Big upgrade. Big upgrade.
A lot. So there's going to be some big changes in the Rams this year, but good for them to get that win. And fuck Pete Carroll.
There was a moment in this game which I was so excited for. It didn't happen though, where, not that I wanted Geno Smith to get hurt, but Geno Smith was absolutely annihilated on a play.
Yeah.
Went out with a rib injury or something, a shoulder injury or something, and he was out for a while trying to work his way back in. And Drew Lock came in, who we've talked about quite a bit.
Yep.
Is Drew Lock good? He never really had a chance. Well, he wasn't very good in this outing.
Yep.
And then Stafford took a huge hit. And then they were talking about Carson Wentz coming in, and I was like, oh, please be Wentz versus Drew Lock. That would make me so happy right now. Unfortunately, no, Wentz did not come in. So
NFL like TV execs just eyeing that noose hanging from the doorway.
No. Yeah, so the Mark Bowl worked out great for you.
Yes, it did.
Your
Rams. Yes. Like I said, good for them. I like especially like making Pete Carroll sad in his own division. So
yeah, this is a loss they could not afford.
Right.
Now that the Niners have gotten themselves back on track.
Yep.
But that brings us to another category. Great segue, me. Perfect Purdy.
Yeah.
49ers over Bucks. Brock Purdy has a perfect quarterback rating against the Bucks. It's the Bucks, though.
I know, but I read that he has the most yards per throw since Kurt Warner on The Greatest Show on Turf. That's amazing.
Wow.
Considering this guy is a very hot or cold. Like we've seen teams just like completely take him out of his game, and he looks like the last pick in the draft.
Yes, he does.
And then we've seen him turn it on. So there's a little bit of magic to this guy. I'm glad the Niners turned it around. They seem to have figured it out. McCaffrey is back to playing where he always is. I mean, even last week he didn't get his touchdown, but that's I think I love that we're debating, like people were debating that. We're like, oh, he didn't get it. Might be on the way down. I'm like, this guy is still amazing. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
He's just gonna reset the streak next week.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Good for really, I like the Niners. They were my pick to be in the Super Bowl this year. So, and the more I watch, the more I feel like they just had a little bump in the road. And sometimes that's what brings a team together. So still on that bandwagon to make the Super Bowl.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the defense certainly looks even better with why they were allowed to get Chase Young.
I know. My God.
Who didn't stop that? Why we needed David Stern in the NFL who just veto trades and just, nope, sorry, Chris Paul and Kobe, you're not playing together. Nope, no way. I'm not letting that happen.
Ron's got to put together his recruiting list this year. I mean, he can't be focused on holding on to defensive players. They're not going to help him recruit. You think they're going to help him in Maryland? No.
And they only traded a 3rd round pick for him. Like, how come they're getting a discount?
Right.
But the 49ers are perfect and they beat the Bucks. The Bucks, I mean, the Bucks play tough. It's a typical Baker team.
Yeah.
He's a tough guy. He plays tough. You're not going to get more than 17 points out of Baker Mayfield. You're not.
Yep.
Like, he's just proven that over and over and over again.
This is a team, like we're talking about the Packers here. The Packers have like a path forward. Right?
Yeah.
We know what they're doing. We know what they're building. Like, I don't even know where to start with the Bucks. Like, does this team need a full implosion? Do we just tweak it? Like, and that's the worst. You don't want, because this is that range where you're like 6-11 to like, 9-8. And this is not where you want to be in the NFL. You don't want to be like, okay. You need to either be real dog shit or good. So if you're just okay, you're just going to be stuck getting okay draft picks and not being able to turn it around.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, are they going to get rid of Baker? Hasn't played badly, but he hasn't played great.
That's what I'm saying. It's Ryan. Like it's tough to figure out what to do when it's tough to figure out what to do. This is not where you want to be. You want clear decisions. You want not easy decisions, but you want a path forward, right?
Yeah,
I can't.
They don't have a path, and they got to fire that coach. But do they?
No, he's got to go.
He's got to go. All right. Last week we had Dobbs as a category. This week we have Dobbs as a category. The Vikings lose to the Broncos by 1 point on Sunday Night Football.
Well, Dobbs probably doesn't remember where he is because of that fucking cheap shot artist we've talked about again.
Like the first play of the game, he got absolutely annihilated.
Jesus Christ. Get this guy off the field.
He's gonna get suspended again, right? There was no flag thrown on that play.
Suspended.
I guess it was because is he suspended again?
I don't know. Like he needs to be out of the league. There was no. You can't justify the way he led with his head on that. I mean, it was just horrible. Head never went. I mean, it was just. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, you could argue he was going for the ball. Dobbs was technically a runner in that. Yeah. So he's not as protected as he normally would be, but
brutal.
Man, what a shot. And they didn't no penalty on that play.
Right.
It was a fumble. The Broncos got it.
Yep.
It was a tale of two halves. The first half, the Vikings looked good. So good, in fact. This isn't in broadcasting moments because it's hard to show this in like a tweet. But our guy, Chris Collinsworth, compared Dobbs to Mahomes at one point during the first half. He's like,
it's the only player in the league he knows now.
Good God almighty. This guy reminds me of Patrick Mahomes. And then
this guy,
Tirico was like, be careful.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know I need to be more careful. Chris, what are you doing?
Collinsworth.
Oh my God. It's Josh Dobbs, Chris. I think you're a little I know, but he just looks like my boy Patrick.
My boy. That's all I can talk about every broadcast, even if he's in it or not.
If he's not in the game, he's talking about Mahomes. And he even said, like, people are going to be mad about this. So, yeah, they are.
Because it's the only player you got.
Oh, my God. I usually like Collinsworth, but man alive. Don't do that.
I used to, but his act has gotten real stale.
The only thing about him, I'll say, is that he actually sometimes says stuff that I'm like, I didn't know that before, which is my number one thing with color commentary. It's like, if you say something I don't know, I'm in. I want to learn something. I don't want to be explained 3rd and 18 in the fourth quarter is a big down. Like, I get it. We get it.
Right.
Like Phil Simms used to do that. Oh, this is going to be a big down. This is a big one. Yeah, we know. We're watching the game. We already know that. Tell me about the formation or what the linemen are doing or whatever.
Our other co-host, Drew, always has a great comment where he always says every Phil Simms analysis during when he was calling games started with, when I was Phil Simms.
Yeah.
Like it was always a story about when he was mediocre. That's it.
Chiefs and Eagles update. Mahomes just threw a pick in the end zone. The Eagles picked him off.
Good game so far.
They were about to score and picked off there.
Yep.
Bad throw.
We talked about that. I mean, I don't know if we want to interject here, but the Chiefs, both of these teams have struggled in the past. Like their records are good, but it's like, look at who they've played type of thing.
Yeah, right.
So it's interesting to have them go against each other and both show some warts here, because Hurts also had an interception earlier in this game as well. So we'll see. It's just kind of sloppy so far.
And they're playing in the rain, so that's probably affecting it. Right. Yeah, so the Broncos win. Now the Broncos have won a few games in a row here.
They're like the Vikings last year. Like the games they win, you have no confidence in this team if they even do make the playoffs, which they won't. But even if they would, they would get stomped. I have nothing on this team.
Yeah, their defense is playing better, I guess you could say, but they're playing Dobbs. Yeah. I mean, the most interesting thing about this game to me, other than that hit on that really weird, dumb play that Kevin O'Connell called, like double reverse pitch to Dobbs or whatever it was. What are you even doing? But that annoyed me. But the most interesting thing is the communication thing, I think, between Dobbs and O'Connell, where O'Connell will tell Dobbs, play 12. Okay, when you do this, you got to roll right and you got to look for this guy, and this guy's going to be doing this. That he's not calling like, X right 7 or whatever the play is. And then Dobbs is like, cool. And then he runs it like every other team. He says play 12, and then Dobbs reads it verbatim off his little plastic thing on his wrist. And then the entire time O'Connell's just in his ear telling him what to do.
Right.
Which is really weird. And I didn't think that was allowed, but apparently you can talk up to a certain point.
Yes.
And then it cuts it off.
Right.
So
well, you can be chatting with him the entire up until I think 10 seconds or something.
It's
a lot shorter than you think it is too.
Which is funny because O'Connell said, coach of the Vikings, he said like there's like a beep when you're done and it cuts off, and I was hearing it in my dreams because so many times it was cut off trying to talk to him.
Can you imagine what Nathaniel Hackett says to his quarterbacks? He's probably like, I need him. I'm playing Mad Libs. And I need
you ever see the movie Goldfinger? Yeah, we know about it. You talked about it all training camp. All right. Well, this is like we're in the gold zone. He doesn't have an accent.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I made him really.
You gave him an accent. I like Nathaniel Hackett voice. You ever see Austin Powers 3, the good one? Coach, nobody likes that.
Them creepy crawlers. I used to have them. I burnt myself all the time. It was anyway. Slot receiver Y banana. It's already beeped. It beeped like 20 seconds ago.
They have no play call.
Yep.
You ever play board games? My favorite was Mall Madness. Now I know that's traditionally a female's game. Coach, we're in the middle. The play clock's running down. Yeah, but Mall Madness was real fun. Even if I like to shop. Who doesn't like to shop?
I like this. We'll see how he does this Friday.
Yeah,
They're playing on Black Friday, the Jets, by the way.
Oh,
they got the Black Friday, that sweet Black Friday game
against the Dolphins. So we'll see how that goes. Ooh. All right, this category, I want to do more Nathaniel Hackett voice.
Me too.
It'll be back. Next category is one step closer to Maryland. The Giants beat the Commanders. This would have been what, but this is a tradition now. We were talking about Riverboat Ron and his college quest.
I didn't realize he went to Cal, and I might change my belief because he would be perfect at Cal right now. Cal is an embarrassment. And that coach has been with Cal for way, way, way too long. He'd be perfect to go back there. They would love it.
Warm weather.
Maybe he's thinking maybe not Maryland, maybe going West Coast, maybe going home, baby. But he's definitely leaving because, whoo.
Oh, he gone.
Yeah, he gone. Look at your boy, Sam. Look how they massacred your boy.
Oh, God. Give me back my son.
Yeah.
Like that movie. Yeah, wow. Wow. How do you lose to the DeVito-led Giants? You lost, I saw somewhere, you lost to a quarterback who lives with his mom. You should immediately be fired.
I think I said that this last week, but like, hearing about DeVito living with his parents is getting right up there with, did you know Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard? Like, I hear this so many fucking times. Like, yes, I know he lives with his parents.
Yes, we got it. Yes, and Josh Jobs is a rocket scientist. We know.
Exactly. Thank you. There's other things these guys do, like occasionally throw a football. DeVito did not look shit.
He looked good in this.
Yeah, he did look good, right? He threw 3 touchdowns or something, I think. That's pretty impressive. I love, by the way, I don't know if you got this. I love that Dayball at the end of the game, they were giving out game balls. He did not give one to DeVito. That's so on brand with that human.
He didn't do that. And then I think he was asked in the press conference, like something like confidence in DeVito or something like that. And he's like, we'll see. That's what he said. He was like not committal about DeVito going forward. Like not even giving this kid anything.
Do you think he like paused Kingdom Hearts on his PS2 to get up and do this? But he definitely didn't like shut it down. He didn't save. There is a save feature. He didn't do that. He just paused it, shut the TV off, came back to it later.
Smart move. Smart move.
Can't trust those save features. God knows if your battery's dead.
Yeah. Wow. The Commanders. Oh my God. I was gonna make a big pitch at the end of this week. We gotta move Sam Howell up the Orton line now. Like, why are we waiting till the end of the season? Oh, come on. Oh no.
See? That's why we do it at the end of the year. You never quite know.
Three interceptions in this game.
Yeah. The Commanders are a team that we were talking about earlier with, like, what do you do to move forward? This is a team that needs to be blown up. And they already started with getting rid of Chase Young and Montez Sweat.
Yep.
So they've moved in that direction, and I think you're going to see more of that in the offseason.
Yeah.
But that's the right move moving forward with this squad, because then you can, probably not next year, but the following year, you'll have a lot of money. You'll probably have a lot more draft picks. That's when you start rebuilding. And by that time, you'll have a new coach. And we love Riverboat Ron, but it's just
it's time.
Not his team. So
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Commanders just move one gentleman up to head coach and not even do a whole search? Just move the guy in. Mm-hmm. They have Eric Bieniemy in there.
Yeah.
Do they just move Bieniemy up to head coach and say, all right, take this offense to the next level, and we'll get a defensive guy in here who can fix the defense? We'll put some equity in the defense. Is that what they do?
I mean, that is fine with me. He's a hell of a coach. So I would still probably go through the interview process, though. I want to hear what everybody has to say.
Yeah, you want to do your due diligence.
Yeah, yeah, do your due diligence. But, like, I do think he is the leading candidate to take over. So,
interesting thing here is, why don't they just fire Riverboat now?
Yeah,
and give Bieniemy a chance to see what he show us.
Yep,
you got the job. If you show us what you can do as head coach. Like, you've been begging for you left Kansas City for this job so you can try to become a head coach. Which there's some dumb head coaches. I would give Bieniemy a job.
Well, absolutely.
I'd take him over Frank Reich right now.
Right,
he's overdue for a job. Like, why not roll the dice here?
I heard there's rumors that he's difficult to work with.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, and that could be difficult in building your staff if you have that reputation.
Sure.
I still think he obviously deserves it, and he got Sam Howell to look competent for a good part of this year.
He fooled me.
Right. So I think there's that alone. I think gets you a head coaching job.
Sure. Okay. Well, this was a disappointment. I thought that for some reason, both games this year, the Commanders sucked against the Giants. Both games.
Yeah. Right.
Lost them both. I think they lost both of them.
Do you think Tina's come back to Dayball, or do you think she's still at her mom's?
She's hiding it in Nebraska. She's hiding out still. She's like, one game's not enough.
Yeah.
This guy's crazy. He's got King. He still, though, thinks she's in the apartment. Like, 100%. Still like, Dana!
Right.
Like, where's the meatloaf?
The dog bowl is just overflowing now with wet dog food that he's dumped.
There's no dog there. Yeah.
There's no gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. He still doesn't realize she's gone.
Right. Yeah.
One game, not enough for Tina to come back.
No. She's beginning.
She's smarter than that. She's smarter than that. Okay. Oh boy. Next category.
Do it up
to the best, but we can barely win a game. We hired the corpse of Frank Reich, 'cause we found some old merch with his name. Carolina, oh Carolina, our quarterback can ride a roller coaster. Carolina, oh Carolina, if you order top shelf, well he can serve.
That is right. It is the ballad of the Carolina Panthers. I don't leave it playing. Panthers crushed by the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We knew this was coming, though. Like, we've talked about this before. The Cowboys excel at beating the shit out of teams that don't have as much talent as them, because when they play a team that is equal talent of them, they lose. So this is how they feel good about themselves, Ryan.
Jerry was excited. Jerry was like, yes, baby. First half, it looked like it actually would be a game. And then we got another Bryce Young pick six. And then everything fell apart after that. And it ended up being 33-10. But it was
really
like 17-10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, about to say, at one point, I was like, you know what? They're playing it tough. I give them credit. But after a while, once again, the talent discrepancy is massive between these two teams. So
unfortunate. Even like somebody, a lot of Panthers fans online are crapping on the offensive line. Like, several times didn't even try to block Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
didn't even try. That left guard is really bad. I know we've talked about Corbett or Austin Corbett a bunch. There was one play where Parsons came in one-handed, just pushed him out of the way and kept going. Jeez. And he turned like, oh no!
Record scratch.
What happened?
You're probably asking how I got in this situation. Yeah.
Turns out I have no talent. I'm devoid of talent. Yeah. There's no fixing this. I mean, the fix is we end the season and rebuild the offensive line. That is the number one thing we have to do. That's the number one thing that has to happen.
I mean, he's under so much pressure all the time.
Yeah.
And they can't get the running game to work because of this. So it's
and Greg Olsen was calling the game, and he was like, you can't evaluate how good.
Right.
A smart point, but he's like, you can't evaluate how good Bryce is because he has no time to play.
Yeah.
Like, he has no time. So you can't tell if he's actually any good or not, which sucks. But it's the truth. It's a good point. So,
but they're in a position where even though they don't have the first rounder, you can still get a good guard in the second round. A guy who's
tanking. We're tanking for that second round first pick.
But I'm just saying, like, it will be high enough where you could get a day
good
one starter.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe trade into the back half of the number ones.
Right. Exactly.
Something. I don't know.
There's going to be good talent. This is an above average year for offensive linemen in a league that desperately needs it.
Oh my God.
So I think you're in, if looking to rebuild, this is the year to do it through the draft.
There might be, you replace 2 or 3 guys on the line. Maybe you're cooking a little more. I don't know. Frank Reich took the plays back over from Thomas Brown. That was weird. I don't know. It's just, and the press conferences are so bad. Like, him going out there and saying that the offensive line has no issues. Like, come on, man. Like, he has full confidence in Bryce Young, but he won't let him go for it on fourth down and kicks a 59-yard field goal against the Bears. Like, how can you say that with a straight face?
I know.
Like,
I love me some Frank, but he does coach speak worse than anybody.
It's brutal. It's not like he's coming in and be like, it's bad, guy. Like, it's bad. We have a lot of work to do. We're working on it. Like, they asked him if he's going to fire anybody. He said no. Like, I don't know.
I mean, at this point,
why?
Let him finish it up. Like, I mean, if you're going to fire him, you don't have much time left. So,
I mean, Tepper is a maniac. So he may fire everybody. Who knows? Who knows?
I'm the coach now.
I'm in.
Let me get that Hackett guy. Well, I don't know, David.
Touchdown Chiefs. Kelsey. Taylor Swift's not there, though.
Tay.
Taylor's in Brazil, right? Is that where she is? Tay-Tay's in Brazil. So Kelsey's in for a touchdown. Chiefs are up 14-7, or about to be up 14-7. Yep. Yeah. Maybe we need Hackett. Maybe that's the answer.
Right?
Y'all ever seen basketball?
Basketball.
It's like basketball, but with taunts.
Now, I know I talked about some board games. How about Grape Escape? We ever heard of Grape Escape? It's like using Play-Doh, right? But you make little grapes, and then they roll around, and everyone's having a good time. I kind of
all of his stuff is board game related. You know, Apples to Apples is truly underrated. You can find out a lot about your spouse.
I slipped into Cape Fear there.
I think that was very appropriate. Cape Fear works very well for Hackett.
I can't decide what accent I want to give him.
It's vaguely Southern.
Yeah, vaguely Southern, but that was more like diabolical Southern. I want to stay away from that.
Yeah, right. That's a little too much. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, right.
He's like a Southern lawyer.
Definitely not in the South, but I just kind of dig what we've done with this. Now, Ryan. The problem with your Carolina Panthers is you're just not using the Etch-a-Sketch. That's all. You just drop a little play on your Etch-a-Sketch. Here's what I did. You can see it looks like Mousetrap. Another really good board game.
Monopoly is really it's
I feel like it's too complicated for him. I like that he would stick to
confusing. Number one problem I have with Monopoly is you need other people to play it. Nobody really likes it that much.
What I do is I sit on my family room floor and I break out sorry. That's all. I just break out sorry, and then I just apologize to myself. I'm sorry, Nathan.
That was an 8-yard loss for Zach Wilson. I look at his lisp now. All of a sudden, he developed a lisp in the last. I can't
figure out the accent. They're all good. I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Oh my god. All right. Well, that is the end of the battle.
I need a new
game. Okay. Thank you to Chris for the ballot of the Carolina Panthers. Caleb Williams' dad bracket. The Bears. They teased Caleb Williams' dad in this one. Sure they made him all hot and bothered. Oh, the Bears are going to win. Ooh, the Bears are going to win. Not so fast, my friend. The Lions come back, score 17 points in 6 minutes. They overcome a Jared Goff travesty almost. Goff was awful in this game, but somehow the Lions pull it out and beat the Bears.
I just can't get a read on we talked about it when Drew was here. I can't get a read on this Lions team.
It makes no sense.
No, right.
1 week, they're dominant. The next week, they can't beat the Bears.
Horrible.
To the end.
I also thought it was weird that people were talking about Justin Fields. He came back and he was spectacular. And I watched the highlights. I didn't watch this game as a lot. I watched the highlights. What game were you watching? He was at best average, spectacular.
You know what spectacular is in yards passing for Fields?
What's that?
It was 168 yards passing. That's it.
Right.
He ran for 100.
Of course.
Which good for you. But
he does.
He had one deep, nice pass to DJ Moore. That's great. But he really wasn't that good passing it.
Right.
I mean, he wasn't hideous, but 168 yards passing is not good in the NFL.
No.
I'm sorry. It's just not good enough.
The more I watch him play, the more I really do think, for a while I was thinking, even if the Bears get the number 1 pick, they're not going to take Caleb Williams. They'll trade it or they'll do something because they're stick to Justin Fields. I think we've seen enough at this point of Justin Fields, and I like him. I just think a change of scenery is needed for this guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's not as bad as some quarterbacks, but it's not working. No. If you could upgrade, you might as well upgrade. The team stinks.
That's the thing. Caleb Williams is a decided upgrade in almost every respect than Justin Fields.
You have an opportunity here. There's several teams that have multiple number 1 picks. You have an opportunity here to pair 2 amazing players together.
Sure.
If you're the Bears, how do you not do that? You could get the number 1 quarterback and the number 1 wideout and solve a lot of these issues right away, immediately.
My worry for them and for Bears fans listening is that they're going to overcomplicate this. They're going to overthink it. They're going to think, should we trade out? Maybe we'll get another pick. Maybe we'll get a whole plethora of picks. This is the easiest decision.
You just did it last year.
Right. This is the easiest decision ever. If you have the number 1 overall pick, I don't care who you are, you take Caleb Williams.
Take him.
Yeah.
There's no trade here that's going to, unless somebody trades you.
Patrick
the only way, the only way it kind of makes sense, I don't think anybody would, any fan of the Bears would be okay with this, but if it was okay, I'm trading the number 1 pick to the Vikings or somebody, I'm getting Kirk Cousins back, I'm getting a reliable starter back and other stuff. Kurt is not great, but I'm getting somebody back who can do this.
Unless that other thing is Justin Jefferson, even that is
right.
Crazy.
It's not. It doesn't make any sense. And the Bears are stupid. I mean, they're real dumb. We've seen it.
Yep.
They're gonna do something dumb, which is exciting. I hope it happens. I'm excited for it. All right. Moving on. Caleb Williams' dad, the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to the Caleb Williams dad bracket.
They're back in.
They're back in. They lose to the Dolphins. The win streak is over.
To their credit,
they played hard.
Tough.
Aiden O'Connell was not good.
Nope, he was not. But like they threw 3 interceptions, and they still only lost by about a touchdown in Miami. Yeah. I feel like there is something to be said about how well Antonio Pierce has this team ready to play. So I am impressed by that.
Sure.
Tyreek Hill is amazing. Scumbag human, but amazing on the field.
He might get 2,000 yards receiving. He might.
I think
he's still in play. It's not completely. He has 7 or 8 games left. 7 games left. 130 yards a game is all he needs.
Right.
Which is totally doable if it's him.
Absolutely.
He could do that. He could definitely.
And they don't have the hardest schedule moving forward. So I could easily see them do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the Dolphins are really good at. They're like the Cowboys. They're really good at beating these stupid teams.
But I feel like like I said, the Cowboys would have dropped 30 on them.
Right.
And but they would have scored 5. Like you know, Dolphins still stuff to work out.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they lost Devin Achane. He came back and then got injured again.
And then Tyreek hurt his hand too.
Yeah.
You know, and even if it's just something like, oh, you got to tape it up. I mean, he's a receiver. He still came back and got another like 2 receptions for 60 yards though. So
I think he had said,
"Freak."
He is a freak. I think he had said something like, "Nothing's really going to change. I just can't play PS5 or something like that."
Yeah, right.
Like, okay, well,
his son's probably like,
"Oh, he can't hurt me."
Yeah.
Caleb Williams' dad bracket is filling up because we still have the Patriots.
Oh my god,
they're still around. They're sticking around. They were on bye, but they're sticking around.
I get more and more nervous looking at that Patriot because if the draft was today, the Patriots would pick 3rd, and that is
they're getting somebody
definitely within shots. That definitely within a trade opportunity to get that number 1, at least to try.
Yeah. So. I have a friend. I'm going to use the quotation marks on that. Friend in quotes at work. Who's a Patriots fan?
Oh God,
quote unquote friend. Who said when I said this, like, you might get a quarterback. He said, "Oh, Belichick's gonna fuck it up. He's gonna trade it for some fucking random ass guard from some random Navy or something.
There's got to be some white receiver who played lacrosse that.
Yeah, right. He's gonna trade the pick even if he gets a top pick.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's possible. That would.
I don't think Belichick's there at the end of this season. I think he's done.
All right. Yeah, that's true. We were going to talk a lot about Belichick going forward, I think. All right, one more. Texans beat the Cardinals. One more Caleb Williams' dad. The Cardinals, they got Kyler Murray back. They look like they were back on track and then lose to the Texans.
The Texans are playing great. They really are. But they also, there are some red flags up there if you're a Texans fan. You got to be excited about your team. But holy shit, that defense needs some work. Kyler Murray should not be picking you apart coming off of a horrific injury.
At the beginning of the season, we all talked about it. We thought Stroud was good. This team wasn't ready. I mean, he's elevated them quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't play that well in this game, but they pulled it out. If they got some pieces, I mean, they have 2 number 1 picks, right? They traded one to the Cardinals, didn't they?
Right,
boy, they did that. They have possibilities here to make the team better. They need to do that, but Kyler Murray might not be long for Arizona either.
Get a beat on him. I'm curious. I'm very interested to see how he does the rest of the season because if he shows improvement, I don't think you get rid of him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think you stick another. I do. I think you stick with another year of him,
even if you have a shot at what. Let's say, what's the threshold? What's the level here? If they have the number 1 overall pick, they're not keeping him, right? They're taking Caleb Williams' dad, right?
Today, yes, but I got to see more. If he starts rebounding and toward the end of the year starts putting up 3 touchdown games, I say you got to stick with Kyler Murray.
I mean, if you go Kyler Murray or Drake May, you might have more of an argument here.
Yeah, right.
But if you go Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, that's tough.
Yeah, fair enough. But if they have the 3rd pick, I'm sticking with Kyler Murray over May or over the other guys.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
Drew would be upset if he heard that. You're very upset. Okay. This category is Dear God. I didn't think I would have to use this again, but I have to because the Ravens beat the Bengals. But more importantly, Joe Burrow is out for the season.
Yeah, who didn't see that one coming?
It's a wrist injury, not a calf thing.
Yeah, but still, they just leave him out there with this offensive line. We talked about at the beginning of the season,
right?
How much money they've invested and how every single guy is horrible. And they're tied up with this offensive line money, and they're tied up with Joe Burrow. Where's the money going to go to change? This is not good. This is if long-term future of the Bengals, this is going to be a problem with the lack of funds that are going to be available. I think people saw this coming. They just got the shit kicked out of him for so long.
Yeah.
It was now they got time. Yeah, right. I mean, this is it. They're not going to go anywhere without Burrow.
No. I mean, they've got the backup options aren't great.
No.
And they could bring AJ McCarron in.
Oh, great.
XFL star.
Yeah.
AJ McCarron. But yeah, the Bengals win, but really it didn't matter because the Burrow's out. He was injured in the game early on, and then the next day he was out for the season.
The Bengals didn't win this game.
The Ravens. I'm sorry.
The Ravens. Yeah.
I meant the Ravens.
Yeah, the Ravens who look.
They look good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't have to do much in this, but
yeah, I like their quiet efficiency. You know, just something meanwhile about a team doesn't have a lot of drama to it.
Well, you never know. You never know. Chiefs just hit a field goal. They're up 17-7. It's halftime. So we're keeping track of that. Yeah, it just sucks to have Burrow out for the season.
Yeah, it's
just a bummer. Like, he's one of the best quarterbacks. You know, he would have been in the mix there. He's a good guy. You know, I don't like seeing this.
No. They said he should be good for next season, though, so it's not like it's going to be anything that's going to linger. This might be the best thing for his leg, too, just to rest up at this point, because, that could have gotten a lot worse.
I mean, considering how this season was going and how much of a struggle it was, it's like maybe it's a good thing in the future because he can sit out and rest and get healthy. And this team's not going anywhere this year anyway. They lost too many games already. All right, moving on to Forever 2-2, which usually has a lot more teams in the category. But the Jags beat the Titans in the most boring game ever.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this one.
No. The two things I have to say are, why did the Titans run Derrick Henry only 10 times?
Yep.
And Will Levis, okay, if you're not going to do that, then why is Will Levis only throwing it however many times he threw it? 20 times?
Ball much. The Jaguars held on to it.
Milk that clock. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So it was a good game plan by Jacksonville. Like, if you can do that and just bleed out a game and make it as boring as possible, I'll take every single one of those wins.
Peterson out coaching Vrabel there.
Yeah. Vrabel's got to go too. Oh. Vrabel's eyeing that New England job.
No, is he ever? Yeah. Next week, the Panthers play the Titans. So it's the Ryan and Killer Greg Bowl.
Oh, nice.
That's actually a winnable game. Like, straight up. Panthers could win that game.
Is it a weird time? Is it like
it's
Cyber
probably
Monday or
in
something?
it's God.
By the way, if you don't think there's going to be a shit ton of NFLshop.com commercials during that Black Friday, you are not paying attention.
I think it's funny, like the veterans shop thing they always promote, and then they at the end they say shop the veterans collection. It's like, also head to this QR code if you want to know how much money the veterans get, which probably is fucking nothing.
Yeah, right.
Which makes me laugh every time. Like, not that veterans aren't getting money, but it's like total NFL move. They're just keeping everything. Stupid NFL. All right. Last one. Another category I thought I would not have to use again. The worst football game ever played. The Steelers lose to the Browns. Oh, boy.
Baby hands, you broke my heart. All you had to do was just beat the shades of the rapist. Did we talk about Deshaun Watson?
We didn't. I don't think we did. Deshaun is out for the season also. Not as sad as Joe Burrow.
No, fucking great.
We talked about how injured he was in that game last week.
Yeah.
He got killed in that game. he is now out for the season. He has some kind of bone floating in his shoulder or something.
This is interesting because now I don't have a reason, a glaring reason to hate the Browns, but I take a step back. I'm like, no, I still hate you because you enabled this rapist. Like you embraced him. So like I still hate this
paid him.
Yeah, right. So I can still hate them. It's good. I like a villain, and the Browns are an excellent villain.
Yeah, they are.
Fucking baby hands.
What the hell is baby hands doing? Baby hands. You really don't have to do very much for this team to win.
Right.
And like, it's not, whatever you're doing is not cutting it.
I saw Najee Harris is like, I'm fucking tired of this shit. You know what? Steeler fans are fucking tired of Najee. You not doing anything. Yeah.
You sucking.
Yep.
Yeah. He said, like, I'm tired of us not being able to score on offense. You're the fucking problem.
You are a large part.
Yeah, give it to Jaylen Warren more. The guy had Jaylen Warren, 9 carries, 129 yards, and a score.
That's awesome.
Najee Harris, 12 carries, 35 yards, 2.9 yards per carry. That's the problem, Harris.
It is.
Other than baby hands, you look in the mirror.
At least baby hands has an excuse. Like Najee,
he has small
his first year was like lights out awesome, and for rookie. And then has just regressed. The more experience he gets, the worse he is. He's like Andy Katzenmoyer.
Oh, boy. Kenny Pickett threw for 106 yards in this game. 100. Now, the Browns are a good defense.
Yeah, I know.
But 106 yards is an embarrassment.
Yeah.
In the NFL. That's embarrassing. It was ugly, and it came down to a field goal, and the Browns kicked it in and won. And I watched this happen with a Steelers fan, which was very, very... I just soaked it up. Soaked it in as it happened. It was very funny. But yeah, that's all the games for this week. It's time for segments. Sad Boy Boat is first.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to have some repeats on the Sad Boy Boat this week. We have several sad folks who were sad last week.
Yeah.
Brandon Staley being one.
Oh, 100% Staley.
Anytime he's yelling at the media, he's got to go on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sad Boy Boat, Najee Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
That's a good one. I think that's two. Pete Carroll, I would put on the Sad Boy Boat.
Pete.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. Pete on the sad.
And Joe Burrow, probably on the Sad Boy Boat.
Poor Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about Zach Wilson? Should he be on the Sad Boy Boat?
I think he's happy.
Oh, he's finally relieved. He's relieved.
Right. He no longer has to like be the face of this franchise when he clearly doesn't want to be there, and nobody wants him there.
Zach, are you there?
Yeah.
It's your good old pal Nathaniel Hackett. I just want to tell you, you've been benched.
Yep.
You've been replaced, like in Clueless. You've been replaced.
Mm-hmm.
He's a TGIF fan. I mean,
of course he is. Who is
Nathaniel Hackett loves TGIF. Mm-hmm. You're like the sister in Family Matters. You just went upstairs and disappeared.
You just vanished. You just went up that stairs and there you go. You're not like Rachel. You're not like little Richie. They're entertaining.
They have storylines still. Right. Not you.
You're more like a Brandon.
You know, Step by Step, my favorite show.
Let me tell you a little bit about Cody.
Let me tell you. Nathaniel Hackett. Drew's going to be really confused when he comes back.
Is.
And we have Nathaniel Hackett, Southern Gentleman. The new character on the show.
Right.
All right.
Eccentric Southern Gentleman.
He's a gentleman. He's a gentleman. He's a nice guy. All right. It's time for broadcasting most of the week. All right. Here we go. Let's see this. Look at this CJ Stroud pass.
Oh, my God.
Look at this fucking pass.
I like those uniforms, too.
Yeah, I like the red helmet. Just like a jump throw for a 50-yard touchdown.
Woo!
That's pretty good. Very. This is appropriate. The very next one. This is the 6th straight losing season for the Carolina Panthers. 6 in a row losing. Dayball, we talked about it. How much did DeVito grow? I think he's the same height. DeVito is so not amused.
He just gives him no love. I like his just hatred of his own players. Yeah.
Myles Garrett gets his hands on a Steelers helmet, and everyone panics for a minute, but then he just gives it back and puts his hands up. I didn't do it this time. It's not
That's
my
good.
fault. This was fun. Zach Wilson falling down, running out for.
Yeah, right.
It's just the epitome of the Jets. Zach Wilson falling in the middle of getting out there for a play.
Yep.
I always talk about this every Thanksgiving time. The Randy Moss, 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, 163 yards against the Cowboys.
That was amazing.
Thanksgiving Day, 25 years ago.
1998,
25 years ago. If you were born that day, you could run a fucking car for the reduced rate. That's how old we are. But I love this because this was so petty. Like, Cowboys didn't draft him because of all of his problems,
right?
Off the field problems, and he just stuck it to them.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely stuck it.
Especially like that era, Cowboys were like so they're already like
hateable.
You know, not likable, but my God, that squad was real hated.
Hateable. It was still triplet time. Yeah, 98. Yep. They still thought they had something there.
Oh God.
You look at Brian Billick. Wow, he got old.
Yeah.
Brandon Staley, he'll continue to call the defensive plays. You better stop asking me that question.
I'm a man.
I'm 40. Deron Bland, pick 6th, my Panthers. He has more touchdowns than Devontae Adams, Chris Olave, George Pickens, and several receiver rooms. Like an entire room. The Falcons receivers have less touchdowns than this guy does. Yikes. If any of that is true for your team, you need to fire your head coach and all of your staff.
I've heard that stat going into this week, and it is impressive. Yeah, I really don't want people to think I'm putting this guy down, but like the pick 6 is really arbitrary. Like,
yeah, it's random.
So like if Sam Howell throws a pick 6, you can outrun Sam Howell if there's nobody in front of you. If Mahomes throws it, there's a good chance he tackles you. So like, It's still impressive he gets those, but like, depending on who threw it or how the formation was, like, it is still weird, but it just seems like it's one of those, when Mike Brown back in like, what was it, the 2000s?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Got like 9 interceptions one year just because the ball magically like bounced for him all the time.
You're right.
This is like another one of those things where I feel like next year no one's going to remember who this guy is.
It's more of your team sucks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and this guy's great.
Sure.
All right, moving on. There's bad, and then there's the Jets. Jets wide receivers as a group on Sunday finished with 9 yards receiving. 9.
Because they got just Rasul Douglas.
Just 9. This is me. This is my spirit animal. This young woman, this young lady with her Panthers hat.
Yeah.
33-10. Just miserable. Look at that. That's how I feel every Sunday. Look at that face.
Do you think in Panthers games they actually show the Texans score? Or do you think that's just they go out of their way not to do that?
They just erase time. Like they're like Loki season 3. They're just gonna erase everything. The Marvels came out. You should go see it. Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is now back. He has re-entered the chat.
#elite.
#elite is back. He's the Browns' backup. We're gonna see this guy for sure, right?
Oh, 100%.
For sure, we're seeing Joe Flacco.
How horrible he's been the last 2 years.
This guy won a Super Bowl.
I know,
and has been hideous ever since.
Yeah, the Trent Dilfer of our age, right there.
Yes, I particularly enjoyed this one. Brock Purdy doing the "you have no marbles" thing from Major League 2. Major League 2 is one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
And I know that's a controversial topic, but it is.
No, I mean, you like Major League 1, right?
I love them both. I love them both.
That's fine.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes. But you have no marbles. Major League 2. I do not believe that's what I don't think Brock Purdy knows what Taka Tanaka. I don't think he knows who Taka Tanaka is.
No. He definitely doesn't know who
Tanaka's. Yeah, Pedro Serrano or Taka Tanaka's putt-putt. Probably doesn't know about that either. But I enjoyed it. Ben Roethlisberger watches. He has like a thing. He has a podcast, of course. Everybody does. And he watches the Steeler games, and he reacted to this one, this Pickett throw here, where he says, "There's literally no one there." There's literally no one there.
Ben would have got it there.
Yep. One of my favorite memes of all time. The Kevin Nash fake broken leg.
Yep.
This is Aaron Rodgers. We're doing it in reverse here. Yes. Aaron Rodgers watching the Jets.
Yep.
Putting his leg back in the cast.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yeah. I love that.
I heard he said he wanted to he went from I'm going to start or I'm going to play in early December to I think I want to start practicing in early December.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, how convenient.
Yeah.
That means by the time you're ready, it'll be February.
Yeah. And the team's going to be out.
Yep.
And then we got this one. We see Joe Brady.
Yes.
Very celebrating.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So I'll tell you one thing that was weird is McDermott I think this was like a little tongue slip here, but they asked about what's the difference between him and Brady and Dorsey during the the game, and he said it was nice to have I'm trying to think of how I phrase it, but it was the equivalent was it was nice to have a professionalism back in the booth. Right. And I get that because they showed Brady a couple of times and he was just very calm, composed, even when things weren't going right. And then we saw obviously Dorsey throwing shit and just, I don't also get the impression that that Brady and Josh Allen are buddy. And I feel like that's good. Dorsey and him were a little too friendly. Sometimes it's good just to have a boss tell you what to do, or a coach who just hey, we're not going to go fucking watch The Office after this. Let's just get this through this. And
we need to convert on a 3rd and 8. Josh.
Right. I don't care about pretzel day, Josh.
Oh man. All right. Greg's bets are never again, even though he's silently doing them and not telling us about it. So Greg's bets are happening somewhere in the multiverse.
Every time we don't hear from Greg Betts, I assume he lost so badly he has to donate plasma.
Yeah.
So, right. And he just doesn't want us to know about it.
Yeah. He's giving all his blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like Lance Armstrong. He's got to replace it all. All right. It's time for no spiral because Drew's out. But the Michigan situation has gotten even more complicated since the last time we talked.
Mm-hmm.
Where the one thing that makes me laugh about it is the free Harbaugh bet, all that stuff. He's been arrested or wrongfully accused of something. The guy, he's suspended barely from 3 games.
Right.
Calm the fuck down, guys.
You also
one guy cried after the game. Stop it.
Yeah.
You stop right now.
We said it earlier, but he gone.
He's going to the NFL.
He gone.
He's going to coach the Raiders.
This was only his option. What he did and just accepted it. This is the only way he's going to have enough clout to make it back into the NFL. Because if he just fought this, they'd be like, you fucking whiny bitch. You're just not owning up to it. Now he's I owned up to it. Now we can move on and everybody can move on. It's probably what's best anyway.
Right. Drew said he's getting parole.
Right.
He's pleading it down, pleading down a speeding ticket before anybody finds any real evidence.
Totally correct.
Yes.
And honestly, we joked around when Drew was on the air. I think the Raiders are a really good fit for this guy. I really do.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, unless Pierce can really turn things around, but
all
right, time for a FUBAR.
FUBAR.
Time for a football FUBAR.
So, we talked about it earlier. So we're recording on a Monday.
On Monday.
Right. And we have that Eagles and Chiefs game going on. And what's
the
score?
Remaining 17-7.
17. Are we in the third quarter?
We're in the third quarter now.
Okay. So with Philadelphia playing tonight, I thought it would be topical if we induct somebody very near and dear to Philly fans' hearts. So tonight we're going to induct the Philly fans themselves into football FUBAR. So for the first time in football FUBAR history, we're inducting an entire fan base. And before Philly fans get up in arms and start, throwing dog shit at Ryan's house, because
don't do that.
No, Ryan was the one who told me to do this. So, if you're out there listening, it was Ryan's idea.
Do you have Frank Reich's address? Can I just send them the wrong address?
I do want to say this is an induction of love. I do adore the Philly fan shenanigans. It's some of the funniest things, not just Eagles fans, but the Phillies and, in the Flyers. It's always fun. They add a lot to the games. They make it difficult to play against the Eagles. They're incredibly passionate. So when I induct you, just let you know, I do it with reverence. But you're all fucking crazy. And this is that comes from a guy whose fandom involves jumping off of buses through flaming tables.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Your team does that.
They sure do. They sure do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some examples of the most notable Philadelphia fan examples of craziness and enough to warrant them induction tonight. Now, as previously discussed, with an entire induction dedicated to it last year, Philadelphia fans notably threw snowballs at Santa Claus. Right. And that has its own induction. I invite you all to listen to it. It was a good induction. Basically, short and skinny of it, the Eagles ownership, it was tone deaf. They brought on a Santa when the Eagles were absolutely dog shit horrible. They trotted him on the field, and Philly fans wanted nothing to do with it. So there was that.
Fair.
Yep. Eagles fans attacked the then Washington Redskins unofficial team mascot in 1983, a super fan named Chief Z, while he was in the stands. So while in the stands, Z was punched and had his outfit torn apart. And that ended up being the best thing that happened to him because later he made it out to the parking lot where a bunch of Philly fans jumped him, broke his leg, and he spent the rest of that year in a wheelchair. So little angry. In 1989, Eagles fans pelted the visiting Cowboys, referees, and broadcasters with ice balls. And this was, by the way, a game in which the Eagles were up by 10 points. So the Eagles were winning, and they still decided, let's just throw shit. It got so bad that Eagles ownership had to stop the game and get their own players to get on the stadium mic and plead with the Eagle fans to stop. Jesus. The future governor of Pennsylvania was also in attendance that night, who did the same thing. Eagles fans didn't listen. So the ownership the following week, this was like week 16, following week, banned beer sales as punishment to the Eagle fans, who then promptly threw more ice balls because they couldn't get any beer that day.
Oh, my God.
Yep. So some quick hits. In 1999, Michael Irvin, unfortunately, played his last game. And now, fortunately, I guess if you're an Eagles fan, because they were very happy he got hit, very happy he lost feeling in his body, cheered when an ambulance came out to get him. And then when he gave kind of a thumbs up just to let people know he was okay, they pelted him with garbage as he was being taken away on the cart. Wow. Future Eagles coach Doug Peterson reminisced when he first got the head coaching job, how nice it would be to be on the other side instead of on the opposing team. When prompted why that was, he said Eagles fan used to throw D-cell batteries at him when he was a player, and he was walking through the tunnel, which was then backed up by no less than 20 other former athletes in a Twitter thread that day when he got inducted or he got introduced.
Batteries.
Yes, D-cell batteries. During the 1999 NFL draft, the Eagles took franchise legend Donovan McNabb out of Syracuse, who led the team to many playoff appearances. I think he went to 6 Pro Bowls. Now part of their Hall of Fame 75th anniversary team. Eagles fans in attendance, however, that day booed him mercilessly because they wanted Achilles Smith.
Oh,
so we all make mistakes, Eagles fans. Now, there's also other incidents of fans throwing cheesesteaks at players, fans throwing feces at players. Hopefully, not combining the two. That'd be weird. They had like bonfires in their parking lot of Deshaun Jackson and other former players just because they had the audacity to leave the Eagles. But I think we all get the picture. So in the spirit of giving, it's time to give thanks for Eagles fans out there who constantly prove they are one of a kind fan base. And just so they all know, once again, Ryan told me to do this induction. And he said, I just hate the Eagle fans so much. So if you see them out in public, get your D-cell batteries ready. So Eagles fans, welcome to Football Fubar.
They're not going to get near me because I have a strategy. I'm going to grease all the poles. They can't climb up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where that started in Philadelphia? When
it was for the
Phillies. Did they lose? They must.
Oh no, it was the Eagles. No, you're right. It was the Eagles when they won. Yeah, they won the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Greasing the poles so that people can't climb them.
Did not work, from what I hear. Did not work. Yep.
Okay, I like that one. Whole fan base.
Yes,
they are something. Eagles fans are something. All right, game balls. Time for a game ball. I'm going to give mine first.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to Brock Purdy's
brother. Oh, okay.
Chuba Purdy.
Chuba
Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's actually his brother or not. I think he is. Chuba Purdy, who plays, unfortunately, for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Oh, no.
And ran a touchdown in. So welcome to the ballot of the 2029 Carolina Panthers or whatever you come out, guy. We're taking you, Chuba Purdy. We're going to pair you with Chuba Hubbard. We have 2 Chubas in the backfield. 2 Chubas.
Chuba
How can you go wrong?
I saw, and our co-host texted me to remind you that Nebraska did lose, though, over the weekend. So
yes.
There's that.
Thank you.
So I have 2 game balls.
Okay.
The first one is just a perennial game ball to the future college football national champions, Liberty Flames. Hashtag flame on.
Flame on.
Flame on. And as I said in a group text, I don't think it's a question about whether they will win the national championship this year. It's how many times in a row they're going to win. So 8-peat seems fine to me.
Okay.
The other game ball goes
conservative.
Yeah, thank you. Goes to my boy Tommy DeVito. If your coach won't give you a game ball, baby,
you will.
Mark will.
DeVito, you think his mom made chicken parm that night? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Getting the good stuff.
Do you think that's his favorite though? No. Like, is chicken parm his favorite? Like, I feel like Dino Nuggies is his favorite.
You get an extra 2 Dino Nuggies. Dino Nuggies. Oh, I love it. I love DeVito. Actually, I don't. I think he's
he's a
bad SU quarterback. So I was rooting for his downfall. But hey, you know what? Good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
For 1 week, he's on top of the.
For 1 week, he can do it. He played the Commanders though. Calm down. All right. We're gonna do some plugs and we'll check in with this game real quick before we get out of here. But check out Bloody Good Music.
Yes.
I still need to do 2 things. I need to listen to that Blink-182 album, and I need to read that review.
Yep.
Those are 2 things that are on my list. Maybe I'll do it over this Thanksgiving break.
You have some time. Yep.
I got some time now. I think I might dip into there and get some opinions on that album. Because
it's on my to-do list too. Because
they really broke it down. So
yes. Yep.
On the TGF podcast, the new one is out. Side characters taking the spotlight. We have an incredible little bit there about the Full House kids.
Yes.
And how dangerous they all are.
Danny Tanner is an excellent father, but on paper, he's an excellent father because all 3 of these kids are psychopaths.
Right. Yeah.
DJ committed war crimes.
Right.
Stephanie is definitely a serial killer.
She's got voodoo dolls.
She got voodoo dolls. Yeah, she's into
Michelle is burying.
Yeah.
Burying comets in the backyard.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. So we clipped that a little bit out, put it on our YouTube. So if you want to just get the highlights, the funniest bit. We usually clip the funniest bit out. And that one's on there. So we are currently working on the Christmas episode, which is going to be out right around Christmas time.
A perennial favorite. This will be our 3rd Christmas episode, and everyone always has a good time with those.
It's going to be a good one. I'm very excited. So many Christmas episodes to go through. It's like never ending.
Nope.
And I think I got a good one. I've got to double check and see if we did it last year, but I think one of our favorite characters is going to come back for a Christmas episode from this last episode.
The one we never did for Full House was the one where they're stuck in an airport. I remember that one vividly when I was a kid.
All right, so, that might make an appearance.
Right.
We talked about Gorpley on Perfect Strangers, and I'm pretty sure we haven't done the Gorpley Perfect Strangers Christmas episode. I don't think we've done that.
Okay.
Where he has a big bit in that, so I think we might do that again. Could double dip on the Gorpleys.
Right. My only disappointment is we've already done the dinosaurs one.
Right.
We've already done the fridge day.
We got to get the dinosaurs back in the mix.
Mm-hmm. It's been a while.
Maybe for January. All right. Quick check-in on this Chiefs-Eagles game. It's still very sloppy.
Yeah.
17-7 still. I think the Chiefs have it now. The Eagles don't look very good right now. So we'll see if they can turn around.
Kansas City is a hard place to play. So
yeah, they're on the road in Kansas City in the rain, and the Kansas City's defense has been pretty good. So
I heard some those injuries already, or like minor injuries. Nobody majors out, but like a lot of soft tissue stuff, which I'm not surprised with if the ground is the way it is. So
right. We'll see. AJ Brown again fighting with people on the sideline again.
Yeah,
it's like 6 weeks in a row.
Calm down, buddy.
Relax, AJ Brown. You're fine. Probably you had a potential to win the MVP here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's possible. I don't think it'll happen, but it's possible. All right, that's it. We're going into Thanksgiving week. I'm just going to go quick over the matchups for the week 12 slate. Mm-hmm. I don't think Thanksgiving's going to be that interesting. So
no, Detroit, it wasn't a great slate. Yeah.
You got Dallas and Washington. Dallas should blow out Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Seattle and San Francisco will be a slugfest. It's not going to be good.
No.
Maybe we get Drew Lock in that game, too. Then Friday, Black Friday, we've got Miami and New York.
I don't know. With not Zach Wilson now. Right. I'm kind of sometimes when that happens and you have like that first game, you want to try to like show up and impress. Sometimes you get some weird magic, and it is a division game. And I've always talked about how those are weird. So
that's true.
I'm interested in that one.
For sure. Jacksonville, Houston, I think is a little interesting. 1 o'clock on Sunday.
That'll be a good game. Yep.
That's kind of interesting. It could have implications for the playoffs. Philadelphia, Buffalo. See what happens there.
Yep.
And then we again have some real weird night games that are bizarre. I mean, we all knew the Chargers stink and would blow it, but we didn't see them being here. They were going to play the Ravens on Sunday night.
Oof.
That could be bad. That could be Staley's last game, maybe.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Potential
fingers
there.
crossed for all the Charger fans out there.
And then, of course, Monday night has a great game going on right now, an amazing game. But next week, they don't. It's Chicago and the Vikings.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Gross.
Ugh, it just makes me want to throw up. That is not the cheapest ticket that you can buy. It says ticket prices on here as low as Carolina, Tennessee tickets are only $31.
Well, I know what you're doing.
I'm going to Tennessee, baby. What do you think Hackett's doing this weekend after this game?
Well, listen, he's got Passport to play. What I like about Passport is that the little thing talks to you, which is nice. Because I don't really know anything about geography, but I like that it talks to me and tells me about Europa. I think that's fun. That's just silly.
Sometimes I like to get my racist uncles all together and we play Uno, a real racist version of Uno.
Right. Racist version of Uno.
All right.
Anyway,
we're out of here.
For a play, I might as well give you one. Beep.
Coach. All right. All right, we'll have more Hackett next week.
Yeah.
Southern Gentleman Hackett. He's a nice guy. He just likes to talk.
Just wants to play board games. That's all he wants
friends.
to do.
He needs friends. All right. We'll see you in week 12. I think we'll have Drew back next week, I think. So he can settle some debates here on Michigan.
He can slap us back into reality.
Yeah. The Liberty Flames aren't going to be in the college football playoff.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? This is a magical season of the year.
The Rams are making the playoffs.
That's right. Rams are going to be there.
Your Rams.
MVP.
Oh, boy. All right. We'll see you in week 12. Peace out, everybody. Bye.